Hey, come here. Come on, come here. That's fine.
You come go feed me, and you found out for feeding. No matter what picture where you take, it means nothing. Actually, I have my face line. I'm a founder.
I've seen on his social media it's very unsafe, and it's down to the British Boxing Board of Control to actually, there's an issue there. And the boxing, in the worst case scenario, God forbid, that'll show and put the British Board of Control under pressure.
Chaos erupts. Dillian Whyte just attacks Moses, Itauma at the airport, and it's pure disgrace. Moses was calm, walking peacefully, yet Whyte turned the scene into a cheap brawl. This wasn't strength, it was weakness. Proof that Dillian's frustration boils over the moment real class stands in front of him. And straight after the shocking airport scene, Hearn couldn't hide his reaction. Hearn's shock said it all. Whyte's airport attack wasn't bravery, it was desperation. Moses walked with dignity, while Dillian lost all credibility in one reckless moment. Instead of proving himself in the ring, Whyte turned to chaos outside of it, and even Eddie couldn't defend that behavior.
I'm not saying abandon the fight, I'm just going, not for me, mate. I don't want to watch it. So,
And straight after the shocking airport scene, Hearn couldn't hide his reaction. Hearn's shock said it all. Whyte's airport attack wasn't bravery, it was desperation. Moses walked with dignity, while Dillian lost all credibility in one reckless moment. Instead of proving himself in the ring, Whyte turned to chaos outside of it, and even Eddie couldn't defend that behavior.
Of course, Umar, and I think I've just been piecing it together today. I haven't been reporting on it this morning. I'm just slowly coming.
And that's when Chisora, a man who knows chaos inside and outside the ring, shared his perspective. Chisora tried to soften the blow, but the truth can't be hidden. Whyte isn't built for moments like this anymore. At the airport, just like in the ring, he lost control the moment things didn't go his way. Meanwhile, Moses' calm presence exposed the gap between composure and collapse.
Hey, listen, you got caught the head on the temple, and then after that it was a long night for him. I'm a bit sad because I didn't want him to go like that.
And then Johnny Nelson cut even deeper, pointing out the dangerous mistake Whyte made. Johnny Nelson's words highlight the bigger picture. Whyte is making mistake after mistake, and the airport clash was just another symptom. His judgment is gone, his discipline is gone, and his temper is out of control. Moses didn't need to lift a hand. Whyte self-destructed in front of everyone.
Oh, that was done this morning, man. To make the way how he's done it, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong. It's dangerous.
And soon after, Hearn doubled down with another reaction that showed exactly where the balance of respect now lies. Hearn couldn't hide it anymore. Doubts about Dillian were everywhere. Even before the airport clash, questions hung heavy over Whyte's fitness, focus, and discipline. But what stood out most was how much credit he gave to Moses Itauma. Eddie admitted Moses is already special, ready to test himself against prime opposition, while Dillian looked like a shadow of his old self. That airport meltdown wasn't just a bad look, it confirmed all those lingering doubts. Moses came out respected, Dillian came out ridiculed, and the gap between the two couldn't be clearer.
No, but I didn't know what kind of shape Dillian would be in or what kind of resistance he'd have. But you can't take anything away from Moses. I mean, he's a very special fighter, but now it's time to see him in with someone live and active and durable in their prime.
And then Chisora's blunt words brought the chaos into perspective even further. Chisora's message hit the nail on the head. Whyte has been chasing the wrong path for years. At the airport, instead of showing professionalism, he snapped like a man losing grip. A true fighter sharpens himself with discipline and respect, but Whyte let rage dictate his actions. That's the difference between Moses and Dillian right now. One is hungry, focused, and destined for greatness. The other is distracted, reckless, and spiraling. You can't pretend to be a killer by lashing out at an airport. Moses showed who the real warrior is without even needing to swing back.
They were going off the scale of body show, you're a liar and all this for no reason. And what happened now?
And Dave Coldwell, looking at the bigger picture, explained just how damaging this airport fiasco could be for Whyte's career. Dave Coldwell didn't mince words. Whyte's airport attack on Moses felt like the start of a nasty end. The aggression was senseless, a desperate act from a fighter who knows his time is running out. When a man lashes out in public, especially at an airport where composure is everything, it's a sign he's lost control of both career and character. Moses didn't need to retaliate. He let Whyte destroy his own image. This wasn't a highlight for Dillian. It was a lowlight that punctuated a decline everyone already feared was coming.
It's way too much for him, and it's going to be, you know, quite a nasty ending for him, a nasty ending to a career. I was worried for Dillian going into that this would be that fight, and it was. I mean, that. You don't get as, you know, it can't be any worse than that to punctuate a career, to end a career.
Coldwell called it exactly right. The airport attack crossed the line. Trash talk is part of boxing, but Dillian turned words into physical chaos at the wrong place and the wrong time. It wasn't fight night, it wasn't sanctioned, it was pure frustration boiling over. Moses handled it like a professional, while Whyte tarnished his reputation in front of cameras and fans. Airports are places of arrival, but for Whyte this looked more like a career departure, walking into irrelevance with every reckless move.
I'm not surprised.
Does that cross the line, do you think?
Yeah, it does. Listen, the presser was good. It was a great presser, back and forth, poking each other, but not too far. But once you get physical and you touch a man's face, then hey.
And Billy Nilsson went straight to the point, showing how Whyte's own words and actions have now backfired. Billy Nelson's frustration made sense. After that airport fiasco, who even wants to see Whyte fight anymore? His credibility is hanging by a thread, and instead of proving himself in the ring, he's busy making headlines for attacking Moses in public. Nelson was right. Dillian's ridiculous behavior has devalued him. Moses is the rising star, and Whyte looks like a fading act clinging to relevance through chaos. That airport attack didn't intimidate Moses, it embarrassed Dillian, leaving fans questioning whether he's even worthy of another shot.
So that fight's dead in the water, you think, Dillian Whyte?
We'll never fight Dillian. I wouldn't give Dillian Whyte a wage to fight him after his ridiculous comments that he's made.
And Derek Chisora, who knows Dillian better than most, exposed how pointless the whole thing really was. Chisora's message said it all. Even his own peers don't understand Dillian's choices anymore. The airport attack on Moses was senseless, a move that screamed frustration rather than confidence. And when Chisora tells Moses not to put him to sleep too badly, it shows the writing is on the wall. Whyte's airport antics only highlight how vulnerable he is heading into the ring. Moses has the power, the composure, and the respect. Dillian has chaos, excuses, and declining credibility. That airport clash didn't scare Moses, it confirmed that Whyte is walking into a disaster.
I said, Jim, I was like, listen, I don't know why you're taking that fight, for what reason, and he goes, oh, he don't care, you're not my friend, so I was like, listen, just be careful, and I messaged Moses, I'm like, Moses, just fight him, but don't put him to sleep that badly, basically.
What we witnessed at the airport wasn't just a scuffle, it was a turning point. Dillian Whyte snapping and attacking Moses Itauma in public proved exactly where both men stand. One is calm, collected, and rising into greatness. The other is reckless, desperate, and showing cracks everywhere. Airports are supposed to symbolize new journeys, but for Dillian, this scene felt like the end of the road. His career has been marked by ups and downs, but this outburst outside the ring screamed louder than any loss inside it. Moses didn't need to throw a punch. He won that moment with composure, letting Whyte dig his own grave. That's the difference between a fighter on the way up and one tumbling down. Fans saw it, promoters saw it, and the boxing world now knows exactly who holds the mental edge. If Whyte thought chaos would intimidate Moses, he only ended up exposing himself. So what's truly at stake here? If Whyte shocks the world, it only delays the inevitable. But if Moses dominates as expected, then the airport clash becomes the ultimate foreshadowing. The night Dillian lost control before losing the fight. This isn't just about fists, it's about mentality, legacy, and who can handle the pressure when the spotlight burns brightest. Whose side are you on? Was this a sign of Whyte's downfall or Moses' rise to stardom? Drop your thoughts below and let's settle it in the comments.